but it looks like the game is actually live right now.
Good,
So
good.
if you want to hop in, we're already a few rounds behind. I think we should catch everybody up. But sorry, finish what you were saying. I just want to get people excited because Counter Strike,
Because actual Counter Strike.
because actual Counter Strike, non DDoS Counter Strike.
Yeah. So the whole point was you can play through this tournament, get placed, avoid the whole hubbub of joining and trying to work your way up through open. Of course, you still have the option of playing through open because you want to, but that's not what we're going to force you to do. So we're into the server, and after this round is over, perhaps we'll start to talk about it. So that's in January. I wanted to give you a date. We don't have an official date. It will be within the first few weeks of January. Announcement will go out for registration. You and your team can sign up, play through, get in. What we haven't really made a statement on, and that I'd like to get some information on, is how deep you can play in for the placement tournament. Can you go straight to invite? Because that would be kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I just would. Actually, I won't say that on stream. Anyway, you're in, are you not?
I'm in. I'm in. The game is live. People are shooting other people. It's crazy in here.
It's Afterlife versus Just That Good, a matchup that we would like to see, and I have to say that Just That Good might be favored a little bit in, and I, again, won't start officially casting until we get to the next round here. Let's talk about these two teams. Afterlife, the former CEVO-Main champion, and you've seen them play a couple of times, I believe.
I have seen them play. I've casted a few of their games, and some of their players, looks like none of the players that are playing now, but the Afterlife team that won main that last season were actually some of my source teammates. So I'm pretty familiar with the team and their play style, and I know they're not a team to be messed with.
They're very good. They play a very vanilla style of Counter-Strike. They'll play more
Very.
passive more often than they will aggressive, and they do have pretty good coordination. It's not a heavy aiming team. It's a lot more of a coordinated team, which is refreshing to see. But of course, they are still prone to their mistakes that they do make here. So let's let this get cleaned up here. What do we know about Just That Good? Well, we know that they are just that good. Heavy aiming team, a little bit of aggression. They'll do a 1-2 kind of jab aggression, not a full-on like I'm Frost Gaming, everybody pushes aggression. Last time we saw them, we had some really standout play by Hordeau, and not everybody in here right now were in the game that we saw that last time. A lot of new names here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with these.
Yeah, none of these names ring a bell. I do remember Hordu. So it could just be some aliasing, could just be a lot of things. But anyone playing on this roster, you got to imagine, is of the same quality of the players that have been playing in past games. If it's not, or assuming it's not them.
Yep.
If it is them, then it's
You
just that good, being just that good.
Very good. And we'll use as many puns as possible. You are watching CEVO TV. This is Afterlife versus Just That Good. For those of you just joining us, you may be wondering where the Exertus game is. Or if you're the one guy in chat, you might be wondering where the Complexity game is. Neither of those games are on this channel. The one that we had planned to stream is under attack, and we will not justify our committed labor time to the attacks of somebody who's petty enough to ruin our time. So we bring you this, just as fun. Shot missed, dead shot attempted to get the pick, and that peek was successful. A risky peek on an eco round here. Davester hiding in a corner will have his butt spotted. Matrix comes around, finds another pusher. This is an eco round, and Adam, I gotta say that it's not going the way they had planned.
Probably not. Immortal George came out of nowhere and got a nice quick pistol kill. And it looks like Yaya is actually doing a little damage with his pistol, so
So
it's working out a little better than it started, but still not quite, I think, what they're looking for.
yeah, let's a little lull go out in the chat saying, I can't believe that just worked. I ran through the smoke trying to gun down the bomb planter and still managed to escape after the guy let go of 30 full rounds in his magazine. Still a win. Just That Good doesn't win by bomb plant, instead wins by frags. It's 9-3, and tell me if I'm wrong, this is a counter-terrorist-sided map.
Yeah, and I think in this game more than others, it is a little more T-sided. I think just the strength of the guns that the T's have gives them that advantage. The Glock was really strong for a while, still is pretty strong. The AK can do real damage with one bullet. But you got to imagine it's just so much easier to set up as a CT. Use smokes to cover chokes. That it really is still CT-sided.
It is. First kills traded out. That's Hordeau for Davester. Both probably worth mentioning as potential top fraggers. Nice log stack right there to bring down the pusher. That's Immortal Foster on the other side with his op will get another. It's 3-2, 2 Ts remaining on a CT-sided map. Jay Fontaine will step out and almost miss his shot on Foster, and if he had just waited a half a second more, that bolt pull would have gone through. He would have had another, maybe a triple on the round. Down to a 2-on-1, Yaya and Cutlass versus Jay Fontaine. Jay Fontaine, by the way, AK full nades and armor. The other 2 CTs partially equipped with nades, an M4A4, and a P90. They have good position, but the terrorist, Jay Fontaine, has his bomb. They'll have a charge, and they'll bring down the last. Jay Fontaine drops the bomb. It's 9-4.
I actually thought that was kind of a gutsy play out of Cutlass running straight up with the P90. He did a smart move by jump peeking the T stairs to make himself a little bit unhittable. But I'm pretty sure they had the bomb down there, so I thought they played a little more passive. But when you have a P90, you kind of gotta treat it like a P90.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the Pro 90 makes everybody very adventurous and very bold. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's like self-ordained courage or if it was just like the Berserker Rage that the P90 gives you. Speaking of Berserker Rage, Immortal trying to do just that, does get a kill and escapes back through the smoke. Very smart meta play there to have a smoke deploy behind you so that you can retreat through a wall and not be chased. We'll get back to that, and I'm sure Adam has something intelligent or more intelligent than I have to say about that when we get to the end of the round. Hordeau and Gray outside in Banana, trying to push through. The T concentration, heavily focused, pushing toward B. Bomb is actually down, waiting at the back of Banana, so they haven't fully committed yet. 3 left for the Ts, including an op on the field. 4 left for the CTs, and here comes another engagement. Gray sprays down Immortal, who has seemed to have dodged maybe upwards of 50 bullets this round and still lives. Smoke for the cross. Gray enters. Yaya steps through while Gray was looking into the site. Great understanding of position there and the sound cue. Left 2 Ts, Deadshot and Hordeau. They've got some expensive gear on the round and 45 seconds. Adam, will you save that gear?
I mean, it looks like from looking at the. Actually, no, I'm completely wrong. I thought they had a lot more money than they did. I guess we came in, as soon as it came in, they did have a lot of money, but they're about to lose a second round in a row. So I thought they'd have more money than they do, and maybe saving it was the right play. But Deadshot's just straight up going for it with the op, which I kind of respect.
You know, an aggressive offer with seconds left is something that I really love to see. I'll move to our number 7 man actually to see if he does anything with his op, but I think the way he's running tells us all we need to know.
Yeah, there was just so much happening at once. I really didn't get to articulate it in time. I think he made the right play. They kind of made an attempt to go out mid and to kind of do something with the round. He realized he couldn't do it. He got a pick with the op, I believe, and then just kind of hopped right back. So I think that was the right way to play it, holding on to the most expensive gun. And it looks like they don't really have the money to buy up around it, so they might force around it. It looks like one player has a Galil. There's another AK.
Can this be true? Look at Immortal's stat sheet. He's hitting a 60% headshot ratio right now.
Man, when you're hot, you're hot.
When you're hot, you're hot. 9-5, and if Afterlife wins out, this is a doable half. Even though it was not the way you wanted to start, perhaps they were a victim of a couple of saves that didn't go the right way, but it looks good in another aggressive push. Immortal steps back out. He grabs 1 kill. He needs the support of his teammate. It's an eco round, so he may be able to escape. Guns firing back. Immortal gets traded out. There is an opportunity to pick up an M4A1, and they will seize it. Davester, forced out of the hold position at Banana, will surrender that M4A1. So we have guns all around for the Ts now, especially after the saved op was retained on the last round. It looks very much like this was a full buy now.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming in guns to the teeth. So, I mean, they are still down a player, but if you're going to win a round, especially kind of one of those, partial buy, not quite an eco, but, this is the one to do. This is a very winnable one. So they just need to expose some kind of weakness in Afterlife. And it looks like Afterlife is playing about as passive as you can play on this map, really not trying to give just that good an inch of space.
Yeah, they have very little map information. If you take a look at the mini-map, they haven't really spotted out where anybody's coming from. Now these smokes are a dead giveaway, and Yaya, who's been a master of stepping through smoke, sprays down, has 2 kills while moving and backpedaling. How does that even happen? Davester cleans up the last. 9-6 on the half. Hey, that went really well.
Yeah, all things considered, that went pretty well. And that round, unfortunately, we didn't get to watch more of the half, and they are going to be restarting the server for those watching at home. Oh, sorry, he's restarting his PC, not the server.
Oh,
completely wrong.
Please no more server complications. I can't handle that anymore. I really cannot.
Yeah, that round felt like textbook Afterlife. I mean, they were using superior positioning, smart play. that I don't know, that felt like textbook Afterlife. Yeah, yeah, using the smoke to, the other team smoke to his own advantage, kind of hiding in the corner of it, peeking when he needed to, getting the kill, peeking again, and then, just kind of working on the angles and working off of each other. I can't think of a more textbook Afterlife round.
I can think of one, and
Okay.
it has to be with like an entry frag with Foster and Cutlass, and less to do with Immortal pushing, because Immortal pushing doesn't say Afterlife to me.
Hmm. Well, he pushed up to the car. Do you consider that pushing?
Well,
Or are you talking about the P90 push? There has actually, you're right, there has been a lot more pushing
yeah.
than I'm used to out of Afterlife.
There is a disproportionate amount of Afterlife tape out in the market right now, if we can use that metaphor, just because of how often they've been on CEVO TV. I think
Hmm.
they're just trying to break their mold a little bit, because people have kind of picked up on their game, and it shows in their record. They're not nearly the force that they were a season ago.
Right, and the last time I casted one of their games, they were playing on Train, and that game was probably the most textbook Afterlife game, especially on CT side. They were just kind of sitting back, playing off each other, waiting for the tees to come to them, and kind of just outsmarting the other team. And even if it's not super complex strategy, you're kind of just baiting the other team and making them fall into your game plan, which I think is outsmarting.
That's right.
Even if you don't have to do these crazy jukes or anything like that.
That's right. You are correct. So I've brought us back to the lobby here. Once they've, I think they have 10, right? They have 9 right now.
They have 9 right now.
Okay.
I'll let you know when the
Exactly.
fifth comes back in.
So we have this. We have this match wrapped up, and there seem to be playoff implications for these teams, right? Getting in is a matter of being in the top 12, and in being in the top 12, people are going to get bounced out, because think on this for a second. If Complexity and iBuyPower make up their matches, and if Reliable makes up one or two, that's there's 4 slots already reserved, right? That's like iBuyPower, Complexity, Exertus, Reliable, and then what you're really talking about is 8 slots left over for the rest of the field. Not because anybody was invited, but because those teams are so strong.
Right. And I was just taking a peek at the standings, and Afterlife is currently in the eighth spot, which is good. Don't get me wrong. That's playoff qualifying potential. Deep in the playoff tournament. That's definitely a good spot. But that is kind of right in the the zone where you can get unseated if you just get unlucky with teams winning and stuff like that. So I think they really do want to lock down this win. That might bump them up even more. I don't want to look back at the standings just so I don't miss when a player comes back. But another win would be a considerable bump and in further securing their playoff position.
Yeah. So questions from the audience right now. How do you resolve the ping difference between East and West servers? You play a central server, and the servers are provided by CEVO. They are provided. You can rent them for free. It's at www.gameservers.com/CEVO slash. Now you have to add that last slash, because otherwise the IP doesn't, or excuse me, the address doesn't normally work. I don't know why that is, but rent servers free. Could be from any first-person shooter game that needs a server rental, including Battlefield 4, if you play that. And yeah, we can get back on topic. The other thing that I really wanted to touch on before we moved on is that please follow the channel. We have multiple resolutions now, so I don't have that same byline like follow us for multiple resolutions. Well, we have that now, but follow us because we want this channel to grow. We love esports. We love providing you guys something to watch, and following us really helps us track whether or not we're doing our jobs correctly, right?
Definitely, it's nice seeing that number go up every time I open up the channel.
Yeah, it is. It is really nice. It's something special for us, especially if you enjoy taking a look at our entire product offering, if you will. It's Play CEVO 1, and Play CEVO 2 have 3 different games on it: CS:GO, Dota 2, and Battlefield 4. And if you take a look across all of those are all growing steadily. They're all very new channels. Speaking of new, CEVO.com revamp, CEVO.com/watch revamp. All of it's new, and we need your feedback. And if you give us your feedback, we'll change the site and improve it in such a way that it services you better. You want to see more VODs, we'll do that. If you want to see more live content, we'll do that. You want to see more written content, that's already coming.
Oh
So
yeah, that's coming.
that's coming. Uh, I covered a lot of ground just now.
Yeah, right.
And what
You want to do some
else?
Twitter shout outs while we're still killing time? Oh, actually, it looks like Dave Star is back in the server.
Good.
So
Let's do it.
let's hop back in. They aren't doing the LO3 yet, but they should be momentarily, probably as soon as this round is over.
Do you have a prediction on the second half? 9-6 with the first half split, for those of you who are joining us now.
Man. Oh, they're actually calling. Oh, wait.
Not live,
No,
not
they're
live.
not live, live, not live. No, I think it is not live. Not sure what that's all about. Of course, things are going wrong, of course. But as far as predictions go, I don't know. This map is CT sided, even though Afterlife did kind of have a slower start than I think they would have wanted. So I got to imagine that Just That Good can hold on to their lead. But this is a kind of a classic technical map where I think Afterlife can kind of work and impose their smart game plan and have it actually succeed.
I'm glad that you brought up the term technical map. And CS:GO is, or not, well, CS:GO, Counter-Strike in general is old enough to have technical maps versus more free-form maps. Technical maps train, Inferno,
Definitely,
right? And then there are more
it's the
free-form maps
classics.
like Cash, Run Through, gun people down, Dust 2.
Right. Yeah, and I know Dust 2 is not a new map by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like the older the map is, the more time players have had to, I guess, refine their game and their strategies. I mean, this is the same. I mean, there's been tweaks in CS:GO, but this is essentially the same map that I've been playing for since I started years ago. So
Well,
you know,
they added that balcony inside of the T-side apartments.
oh, game changer, shut it all down.
And
Afterlife is screwed. They have no idea how to play it.
I will add one note to your thing. We're going to have to completely relearn Cobble. Have you seen those screenshots? They
I
look
have seen
nothing.
those screenshots.
They look
Yeah.
nothing like I understand Cobble to look. That's great though, because Cobble is one of those maps that aesthetically always deserves to be in competitive play, but in terms of structure, structurally, it left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, Cobble is one of those maps that was a little before my time. I'm a Source baby at heart and a relatively new
Oh my
Source
god.
baby. Yeah, that's usually what people
Oh.
say. Luca particularly offended by that statement. So of course I've pugged Cobble. Sorry, not pubbed Cobble, not pugged. If I said pugged, I spent time in it. I know the map, but I never got to see it really in competitive play, except for that one clip of I think it's either Spawn or Heaton doing the ninja
Oh,
diffuse.
it's Spawn.
Well,
Spawn, the
Spawn.
legendary attempt that never went through.
Yeah. Oh man, that clip would have been 10 times better.
We'll get back to it in a second. You're watching CEVO TV. This is week 8, the final stretch of the CEVO season. For the CEVO main teams, this is Just That Good versus Team Afterlife, former CEVO main season 2 champions. We're in the second half. The match has restarted, so if you don't see the rounds, this is the second half. The score of the first half is 9-6, and we'll have Adam be our scorekeeper. 9-6 in favor of Just That Good. Here comes the split. I'll take a look at the overhead map for you. You guys can see exactly what Afterlife is planning. They have chosen a 3-man alternate route to slow play this. And Afterlife, I don't think anyone is surprised at all that they've chosen to slow play the round. Seconded?
No, yeah, definitely. That's once again, I feel like I keep saying classic Afterlife, but that is exactly what we're talking about. They're not a run and gun team. They're a slow team. They'll work their picks. They'll work off each other, and they'll suffocate your team.
They really will. That's an appropriate word, and hopefully we'll see it in well, a couple of examples of that coming here. A nade here absolutely destroys a chicken. It loses its life in the service of DE Italy.
Rest
And
in peace.
we will salute it after this round. We have an engagement that will inevitably happen at the archway. Yaya gets absolutely wrecked. I thought he was going to get hit from the... Oh, there it is. Cubby side. Deadshot steps out at the right time, bringing down Immortal. 3 left for the T's, 4 left for the CT's. Matrix, by the way, a little bit weak. Sporting the alt-pug tag. Our friends who are at the alt-pug site have launched their pug service. Good friends of ours at the Go Show and
Definitely
Fixation
check that
TV.
out.
Yep, good service. A final engagement for Foster. He'll get head-shotted and brought down right at the Cubby spot. Hordeau has 2 on the round. Davester's the only one left. Our number 9 man is our clutch. The last man standing can't convert. Just That Good puts up 1 more, and we're at 10-6.
So that round Afterlife, was kind of, once I said in the beginning, they were kind of doing their own thing, working slowly, and it even kind of worked. They were able to get out of the A apartments and into the pit, but unlike Afterlife, or kind of, which is a little different for Afterlife, I feel like they got a little greedy and they came out of that pit a little early. I don't remember who it was, but the bomb carrier came out and got killed almost immediately leaving the pit and dropped the bomb in a super inconvenient place for the rest of the team to get. So I'd like to see Afterlife, kind of maybe work a little more slowly off that. I think they knew they were cornered and they had to do something, but I'm not sure if what they did was the right plan.
Right. Could have been a critical error. Another thing that they didn't do was capitalize on the movement abilities of the Glock. The thing shoots in a straight line while you're running. It's a cardinal sin not to take advantage of it. Speaking of that, cardinal sins, don't go around corners without checking both sides. Cutlass learns the hard way, and so does Foster. 2 down. and probably a third to follow with Yaya being aggressively pushed with Deadshot coming around the corner. If you can just aim, there we go. Yaya goes down. Immortal and Davester left on opposite sides of the map with the bomb, but pretty much hopeless. One left. That's Immortal. He needs to 5 clutch. No. 11-6.
Yeah, it felt like every time an Afterlife member was killed that round, they didn't expect it. They kept getting peaked at, I wouldn't say unconventional times, but just times they just weren't ready for it. And I think they were weirdly playing kind of one at a time, where they never had their teammates covering their other corners, covering their backs. And I feel like maybe just because it was an eco and they're just trying to try to make a play, find a gun, work off it or something like that. But I'd really like to see them play a little more. I don't want to say intelligently because that makes it sound like they're not playing intelligently, but I don't know, maybe really slow it down even more than they already are, and maybe communicate a little bit more.
We
I think
have
that's really what they're missing.
a full setup in Banana here. 4 terrorists wielding P250s. They will turn the corner and they may get bi-zoned. Here comes the blind spray. Hordeau does not even care. He gets 3 kills and had no idea. The entire time was just holding down the mouse button. He cleans up the 4th. That's a quad for him. We won't sell it. It's a Bison anti-eco mowdown, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah, definitely impressive doing it still flash, and even that last kill, his teammate threw a flash right at his helmet, so you can never avoid being flashed.
So we're done with the ecos, right? We're on to our gun rounds here, and Afterlife is facing a deficit. If you can update me on the score, it should be 12
it's 11
to 6.
to 6. Oh, sorry, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're right, sorry, I just miscounted in my head. 12 to 6 is the score. Sorry about that.
You're facing a couple more rounds. You really have no more leeway to work with, so these are the rounds you need to capitalize on. Jay Fontaine, standing at the top of the stairs, has come out of the bedroom, will engage Davester. And again, to your point, it seems that these Afterlife players are getting caught unprepared as if they did not know that the possibility of them getting pushed was there. So here is another exchange, 3 to 3, but it should be more like 5 to 3 with entry fraggers picking up the early kills. Now, I'll say this. Cutlass and Foster, the entry fraggers, are the ones who haven't died. Davester and Yaya, who I'm not typically familiar with Yaya, but if these guys are the spear points of your strats, they should be the one looking for the entry frags and not the others. Flash around the corner. Hordeau will step out from the library, enter the same firing window as Deadshot, and that's very dangerous. Immortal gets taken down, however. That nade will be pretty good, I think. Foster does a good amount of damage to Deadshot. Bomb gets planted safely. 2-on-2. 2-on-2 plays is when everything goes out of the window and you got to start making the big shots just like that. Gray's the last CT left. He's got a 1-on-2. He's got enough time to defuse if he gets there, but he needs to find a kit first of all and then make these kills. There is this kit. He sees one over the top of the box. Apparently he doesn't see him. Now he does. He needs to take this shot. He cannot do it. Cutlass holds on to the round and finally tacks one on for Afterlife.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Afterlife needs to do. As you said before, they are kind of running out of time. The score is now 12 to 7, so they really don't have a lot more rounds to give up. And I think if they lose this round, they will not. Actually, no, their money is not bad. So I think if they lose this round, they'll be able to force up next round as well. But this is a round they definitely don't want to lose because they've already reset their bonus money, so they're back to square one basically.
We should keep an eye on the counter terrorists here. Now that they've lost a round, will they adjust their positions and start playing more unconventional positions or alternate positions? Foster, who we just mentioned about having a opportunity to hit good entry frags, does just that. Hordeau is the one to go down. Bomb site B is not necessarily open for business, however. The expendable player, the rotating swing player from CT Spawn, the number 4-man, Deadshot, has come up over with his op and is sitting in Speedway or near Blue Truck to assist his teammate. Good rotation there to make up for the loss of players. 4-4, and the rotate back toward A is on. The T's will turn the corner, and if they don't have a smoke ready for that arch opper, they're going to face a very, very difficult task taking down a fast opper in Deadshot. 3 in the apartments, unconventional, highly unconventional to have 3 in the apartments. Could be a dangerous play. Jay Fontaine wisely backs out with good game sense. Here comes the engagement and a flash peek. Cutlass gets the best of Jay Fontaine, even though they had a team-worked flash push. And, that's rare that you can flick away and still walk away with that kill. Matrix steps out trying to bring down Immortal. He gets sprayed down, and these CTs got systematically picked apart even though they were in textbook position.
Yeah, and Foster right there had a great flank to kill the Opper, who would have been big trouble for Afterlife. So that's just, smart play, working off each other and, catching the players who aren't ready for it. Basically, Afterlife is just that good. as as we've seen before. And also, it was very clutch of Afterlife killing Hordeau right off the bat. And as we've said before, and as we've seen in the past, the man is good. It seems like he doesn't miss shots. And, I think it was Foster who took him down right off the bat.
Uh,
Really opened up the round for Afterlife.
Yeah, I'm actually showing the audience right now the change in headshot percentage for Foster over the course of the last 2 rounds. And if I go to his card right now, his headshot percentage right now is only 23%. But over the last 2 rounds, it was 50 and 100%. All of his kills, headshots, with I think the exception of one. 3-2 on the half. It is 12-8, I believe, for the
Yep.
entirety of the game.
Oh,
Here
you see
comes our.
this boost they're doing?
Yes, I do.
Check out Deadshot.
Oh no, that I was talking about a T-side boost. That boost inside of bomb site B will put Deadshot on top of the big yellow tub containers.
It's actually A now.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
looking at the
old
wrong
B.
person. You're absolutely right. Immortal sprays and hits Matrix in the back. He'll get headshotted there. Foster has a good cutoff there, and that's a great play there. Gray left the site without checking his corner. Foster was there. Oh my lord! I cannot.
You can't even count on that.
All right, so this is the true Moto spot, by the way. We call Moto by that old bridge, and we call that for Moto to celebrate the fact that Geffen was able to hide behind a box and make an incredible play. But the play that he actually made was actually behind that box where you can't get behind anymore. So we call that, let's call that Moto boost now on the top of that little archway. Didn't do anything for Deadshot, who was boosted up there. Hordeau the last will retreat with his prize AK that he recovered after molesting Foster badly.
Understatement right there.
Understatement. Foster is probably celebrating the fact that he got an amazing kill and killed a rotator, but oh no, that was embarrassing.
Ooh, actually, it doesn't matter for CT because they get money regardless. But he was actually killed right before the bomb went off. In a typical player hunt, you really want to make sure the bomb goes off and then you kill them so they don't get their money. But, CTs get their money no matter what, so that's really only an issue for terrorists.
Yeah, he didn't really get much of a choice there. He had Hordeau in his face, literally spraying. Hordeau didn't really land a hit until the very end, and he could have walked away with it, but I think under duress, he made the right decision here. We have another split, 4-up alternate, 1 up the T-steps, looking to contest a mid-picker, Deadshot, who is there. And we've got a setup for the window. They'll wait. Change their plan, move into the T intersection up toward mid. No one's on the left at the archway. They are suspicious because of the fact that they've found people there before, but they are moving personnel around, and that's an underrated aspect of the game that people really need to learn to do more, is move out of your comfort spots and play positions that your opponent are not expecting to find.
Yeah, it seems like the catching your opponent off guard has been just the most important part of this game. Both teams have been doing it back and forth to each other, just peeking at unconventional times, catching teams and other players in transition has really been the key.
Absolutely true. Not an aim-heavy game, not complicated set pieces, but the ability to just flank your opponent and find them unawares has been the theme here. Smoke at the spools will allow fairly good entrance for the T's here. 2-2 trade. Hordeau still fighting, still in the sight. Drops back into the garden. Has Foster in the sight. Will spray through. Had no idea where he was. Still got a headshot. Foster's down. No T's left in the sight, but the bomb is down. They're sending the recovery party. Yea is now determining whether or not he can get in here. It's a 2-on-3, still doable unless that nade destroys Yea. Well, he had enough armor to survive it. With him alone left, chances are he will not convert the round, and he doesn't. Just that good stops the bleeding. They've put up 13 now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Afterlife is continuing to try to take that B bomb site. Actually, I guess Hordeau has been kind of all over the map. One round he was picking mid, and another round he's been at B, so I guess it's hard to predict where he was. But if I were a terrorist and I was trying to take a site, I would pick the one he is not at.
Hordeau sitting at a healthy 12-3 right now, having a monstrous second half. I gotta say, for Afterlife, they're at the point where it would be prudent for them to start testing alternate methods. Look, they're having a lot of pushes up alternate, slowly playing the sites. They should probably try to Jay Fontaine totally let Yaya go. Still made up for it with the second attempt there. Made sure that Yaya went down. The thing that I was suggesting is they should try speed. They should try aggression to see if just that good can handle it. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. They're not going to be trying that.
Yeah, and this round, I think Afterlife is mixing it up even more than they usually do with Immortal George holding that op I think that was their first off buy on this half. So I'm not sure if they're kind of just trying to work it, see if maybe they can do something with it, or if they're going to try to use that as a kind of like a staple of their gameplay. And as I'm speaking, Cutlass picking the guy right under the overhang.
That's such a big play there. Cutlass, who could have had a two-way go coming out of that boiler room, made a split-second play, and though it wasn't a headshot and wasn't a highlight kill, the fact that his awareness got him that kill and he pre-fired it made it that much more effective, that much more impressive. 3 versus 4, Jay Fontaine weak, almost a 3-on-3. Bomb gets picked up by Immortal. He will travel through the apartments, running toward the number 1 man. Jay Fontaine weak, and outside the apartments, sitting on top of the balcony. Cutlass is going to get
Bordeaux is
ambushed.
on the rotate too.
Yes, he is. Cutlass is looking the wrong way. He'll get a... no, never mind. He won't get traded. Yes, he will. Foster, I thought, left his teammate for dead. Deadshot cleans up Foster. It's a one-man bomb plant attempt. Immortal's stuck, and if Hordo just peeks a little bit, has a free shot on... No, Immortal turns and brings down Hordo. He does not want to give up this round. He has 14 seconds, and he's forced into a suicide bomb plant. This will be a suicide play, but it is the right play.
Ooh.
Oh,
You caught me off guard. I assumed he was back there too.
I think for a moment Deadshot looked at the default plant spot and he was thinking that, well, the sound kind of came from that general direction. I'm just going to pre-fire it, and Immortal literally just stuck his op barrel up his rear.
And right before that, Deadshot really lived up to his moniker, hitting a great op headshot on one of the T's that was peaking. So that basically allowed them to retake the site so easily. I mean, it's just, I'm gonna be honest, I've been a rifle player my entire life. I can use an op occasionally, some kind of pretty broad angles, but I have no idea how these people hit these crazy flick shots and always seem to find the head, because I just can't.
That's why we've been relegated to casting here.
Yeah, it's true.
Another gun round for the T's. That bomb plant, that heroic bomb plant by Immortal, allows him to afford an AK, even buy more for his teammates should he need it. It's a wide split here. 2 in Banana, 2 in alternate, 1 in apartments. They're looking to find a pusher, but the theme here is that just that good won't push them. So Afterlife's strategy to find somebody is really lacking, and they have to lean heavily on their designated entries. Cutlass and Foster have to carry this, especially on a map with narrow chokes like Inferno. They lean heavily on these two players. Jay Fontaine will eventually square off against Davester. There's the shot. No kill thus far. A heavy trade, and Davester loses on that one. He's at 14 HP. Banana hold looks secure again. They're looking. I can tell just from the in-game leader and the patterns that Afterlife follows. They're looking for the push, but they're never going to get it. Not with just that good playing the way they have been. They have never indicated that they wanted to push at all.
Yeah, I mean, they've always been playing, especially at B, they've been playing the one guy in sight and, Hordo supporting him. Even at A, occasionally they'll peek, mid and the apartment door by Boiler, but even still, they're not really doing a ton of peeking. They're kind of waiting for that man.
Oh, that's a good
Headshot,
boost.
too swift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deadshot was above on the chair behind, I believe that is, inside that library room.
They've been doing good boosts this entire half. It's an interesting, I don't know, I guess gameplay tweak, these kind of unconventional boosts that people aren't ready for.
Here comes the speed that we were talking about. Gray, however, ruins that attempt. Foster and Immortal get traded out for Cutlass, and that's not enough to get this job done. Now, if they want to stop this tie point from being achieved, they need a bomb plant. They need to start holding on right now, but Hordo is early on the rotate, and if he brings down Yaya, it's all but over. Cutlass couldn't get the bomb plant down. He's facing a 1-on-3. He only gets 1. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 15 to 8.
15-9.
15 to 9.
But, yes, 15-9, because it was a 9-6 half.
Yes.
So regardless, math aside, I can't do math either. But this, I mean, it looks like they are buying up. They didn't have a ton of money going into this round, as Yaya, excuse me, I don't know. I've never actually casted him before, but he doesn't even have a rifle. He's just deagled up right now. Afterlife really needs to put something together right now. Or else they will be going home.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really get an option. Hordo sprays down Foster. I'm interested to see how the CPI is affected after this round and see how far Afterlife is moved down the listings if they lose to just that good. Another deagle shot from Maya. 2 misses thus far, and the deagle will not reward him with the one-tap headshot that he is so desperately searching for. Here is the push, just that good. Calculating that this may be a round where they don't have weapons. They smell blood. They want this cleaned up, and they have chosen to push. After seeing that the terrorists have guns, they've slowed down their pace just a hair. 3 Ts left, barely hanging on for Immortal and Yaya. Cutlass at 100, but still, the odds are against them. This game looks to be almost over. Cutlass brings down Matrix. 3 left for both teams and just barely for the T's. They have the bomb, will carry it through the apartments and then rotates on the far side. The 2-man, Gray, and the 4-man, Deadshot, considering moving over toward A, but they're holding their positions disciplined. Now, if they're spread out like this, Afterlife has the barest of chances to find the man inside the site, but if they let Gray rotate over, it will be too late. Here comes the entry. Jay Fontaine's inside the site. Will engage both CTs waiting, or excuse me, both T's waiting on his teammates to come help him. I can't believe they're doing this. Cutlass is on a one-on-one. He needs to save his game here. And Deadshot, uncharacteristically, not a dead shot. There it is, wrapped up,
yeah,
16-9. Deadshot thought for a second he might choke there. I thought it for certain, but absolutely not. We had a good one, and even though it wasn't as close as we thought it might be, it was still fun to watch.
For a second there, I thought it was going to be a lot closer. Afterlife really started to gain some momentum on those the non-ecos, the rifle rounds, but they really just couldn't hold on, and just that good, showing they are just that good.
How many times can we use that?
Yeah, as many times as possible.
Good. I can't wait to use it more. I've got an IP for you to try because I think we're a little bit behind schedule. So if you will, use this. And for those of you who are joining us just now, you're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner tonight is Later, and we are happy to bring you guys CEVO-Main games that have some actual weight behind them. We've got games going right into the playoffs that affect who's actually going to make the playoffs. And Afterlife cannot be pleased that they might be fighting on the bubble now, to use the NFL term.
Yeah, they were, as I said before, the game has not started, so there are only 6 players in the server. So we do have some time to kind of talk about that last game. And as I said before the game, Afterlife was in the 8th position in terms of the standings, trying to make playoffs. And playoffs is the top 12 teams. So actually, Afterlife only went down 1 rank. They just switched places with iBuyPower.
Well,
So,
iBuyPower
place.
is going to leapfrog them. Is Complexity below them?
No, Complexity is actually now above them as well with 11.
Oh.
Or sorry, with only 11 matches played. So they have a lot more matches. That's what I meant to say. They have a lot more matches to play, and they are still above Afterlife. So actually, that did a lot more shaking up than I initially realized.
Yeah, so we'll find out. There are still matches to be played tonight, so there's going to be ripple effects.
Yeah, definitely.
Are players in the server?
Let's see. Taking a look. There are more now. There are 9 players in the server, so we should be going live. Not soon, but after the 10th player connects.
All right. Well, you guys are watching